Hello, hello, hello. Muffin Mouse, meet Meanville Gal, Blank Screen, what up, buddy? Alicia Claire, Cassandra, hey doll. Let me get back up to the top and see. Forgotten Whispers, I don't know if she's still here. Miss Anne, hello, peas. How are you guys doing? Gosh, I didn't know if I'd remember how to do it. I'm on my laptop. The real angel girl, hey babe. Hope you guys are having good, like in between holidays. A blank slate. Hey sugar. Uh, it's like get done with Thanksgiving, and then we gotta start getting getting ready for Christmas. Thank you, Blank Slate. It's good to be here. I was like, gosh, I hadn't logged on my computer in a couple of weeks, and so I was like, um, I don't know if I can remember how to do this, but I did. It's like riding a bicycle, you know. um, how have you guys been? I've been missing you guys. I've been spending a lot of time up at my mom's. She's I guess you can tell I haven't really went live a whole lot with her because she's gosh, getting her to put something on besides her pajamas has been a task. She just don't she don't really have a desire to do that. And she's really, really ruby red dress. Hey, sugar. She's really, really having struggling with her COPD and emphysema. I mean, she gets up. The other morning I went down there. My sister had left for work, and I went down and I had. I said, "Mom, I gotta go to the bathroom." I went to the bathroom, and I always leave the door open. Whenever unless there's a man there, but usually it's not. So I always leave the door open, and so I can sit in I talk while I'm in there. But I could hear something, and I was like, "What is that noise?" And it was like I couldn't tell what it was from the bathroom. And I come in there, and she was sitting at the table, and I said, "Mom," I said, "How are you feeling? Did you sleep good?" She says, "I have a hard time breathing." And so, Red Run Media, hey sugar. I said, "Well, heaven forbid you wear your oxygen. Something that would help. We have the hardest times with." And she's like, so she goes in there and sits down in the living room. That's where she's got her portable oxygen machine in there, and the big one is back in the back of the house. But and then she's got a nebulizer. And the last time she went to the doctor, the heart doctor said that she could, or her pulmonologist, not her lung doctor, said that if she's having a hard time getting air, that she can do 3 of the albuterol back to back in the nebulizer. And after that, if she's still struggling, she probably should get to the emergency room. So uh, she doesn't rest good at night, and I think it's because she does a breathing treatment before she goes to bed. And I've told her 100 times, Mom, that albuterol makes you jittery. But anyway, I I know she's told me before that nighttime scares her because she feels suffocated. You know what I mean? She feels suffocated, and so. But heaven forbid she puts the oxygen on. I mean, hell, it's back there. I've got the hose ran and got it like little clips up so it's not hanging on the floor. It's like real neat and everything. All she's got to do is slip it on. But she doesn't want to get hooked on on it. That's what she says. I don't want to get hooked on it. I said, Mama, it's freaking oxygen. Who gives two poops if you get hooked on it? My gosh, you have it in your everyday life. I think I would be strapping it on if I was having a hard time breathing like she is. But the main reason is because she's not supposed to be smoking. She don't smoke on. Well, let me just say this: she's been caught several times smoking on her with her portable one. And whenever I called her, I said, "Mama, you can't smoke with that on." And she's like, "Tragedy Pimps Exposed. Hey, babe." She says, "Yeah, they told me that I could with a little one. I just couldn't with a big one." I said, "No, who the hell is they?" And she says, "The people that come out here and brought it." I said, "No, Mama, they did not say that. You cannot smoke on either one of those things." So, and then my sister told me the other day that she told her that I told her she could smoke. I guess my sister called her, and she said that I had told her that she could smoke on the little one. But I said that like flying half right. I did not tell her that. My sister said, "I know you didn't." Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Mama said, "I don't think know how the little one will hurt me." She says, it's not hooked up to that big one." I said, "Mama, it doesn't matter. You know you're not supposed to." But I really and truthfully, you guys don't know if she knows or not because, hey, Christy, your title reminded me of a quote. I think it was something like, "If language did not affect behavior, it would have no, it could have." Exactly, absolutely. Well, I think that my title, I love that saying because it's so true. And I'm gonna tell you, I'll be the first to admit that I am the first one to not pay attention to it and not um listen to my own words. You know what I mean? Because how many times have we all in our lives, love someone or have somebody in our life and you can see their behavior is not the best, and or personally speaking, I choose to overlook a lot of things for several reasons. One, thinking that, you know, maybe it's just a one-time thing, or just you love them so much that you're willing to overlook. You know what I mean? It's just, but I feel like, if you look at somebody's behavior, um, they're speaking to you. You know what I mean? You either have to walk away or meet them where they're at, accept them for who they are, and that's really, really hard to do sometimes, you know, especially if they're self-destructive or, but yeah. So anyway, but let me get back to my mom real quick before I forget what I was going to say. But hey, Forgotten Whispers, Wispy, Side Eye Kate, hey, Sugar, mother of two boys. Welcome, you guys. Thank y'all for coming in. But so she, hey, slow flow, mama. Now, where's one eyed Flo? I usually see her right in here behind you. But yeah, so the oxygen thing, she doesn't hardly ever want to wear it. And her inhalers, she, bless her heart, she's just there, guys. And she's um not real, I don't know. It's like she's not there sometimes. She's there, but she's not there. And it breaks my heart. It's so hard to see her like that. It's so hard to see her like not really have any emotion, really. You know what I mean? And it's just so different. And she can't, her hearing's going. And so anyway, it's just a due process, and I told my brother this weekend, I said, we just have to, start preparing for what our future is going to look like when she's gone, because, I just don't, and you sure can't tell her anything. Lord have mercy. Don't tell her anything, because I'm going to tell you, if she retells it, Lordy mercy, she's going to combine a couple different stories. She cannot get nothing straight. So I told my brother, I said, if she tells you anything about me, you need to ask me, because don't believe what she says. I mean, she's not responsible. My husband's grandfather always smoked with oxygen tank running. Wow, really, Christy? I refuse to take my. I know, right? Yeah, you don't want to get blow up. Well, my mom, and I don't know how that works. You know what I mean? With the whole oxygen, but I know I've heard it my whole life. You can't smoke. I see him talking about Rice Krispie treats. I bought some. I went to a Tractor Supply a couple of weeks ago, and there was a couple of people set out front selling stuff. And these people that do this dehydrated candy and dehydrated stuff, they had. I bought a little pint of it, and it was dehydrated Rice Krispie treats. Now I have to say, they were pretty good. They were pretty good, and it was right after Halloween, so they threw in some candied corn, dehydrated candy corn. I didn't try those, I gave those to my niece, so, um, I don't know how those tasted, but I had ordered some from TikTok about 6 months ago. I got the gummy worms, I got sweet tarts, I got about 4 different things, and my recollection, I got the peach rings, the gummy peach ring. My recollection was the gummy worm. Kay Smalls, hey, love. Long time no see on here, stranger. But the the gummy worms was the best. I've heard that stuff's not cheap either, but I've heard that the equipment to do that is like crazy expensive. But I've watched some videos about people doing it, and I mean, they have these really, really big marshmallows, and this company put them in there, and man, those things got really big. It's crazy some of the stuff people's trying to dehydrate. But yeah, I know, Chrissy. Maybe it won't blow, but I've heard it my whole life. You know what I mean? Do not smoke while you're on oxygen. And actually, I've heard nobody should be smoking around you if you've got oxygen on. So uh, I don't know. I just know that. So the other morning, whenever she was gasping so hard, I went in there, and she was sitting on the couch and waiting on me to come help her, and I had put one of the albuterols, the liquid, in that little thing that she sucks on, and she said, "Well, which one?" And her oxygen is sitting on the other table. And I said, "Here, Mama." I said, "We're going to get you up." So I put her oxygen on, and I had her do her nebulizer. I said, "We're going to double fist it." And so She does, but if you don't stay in there with her, she'll not use a, albuterol, the nebulizer all the way. But whenever one of my other sisters was there a couple of months ago, and Mama had been having, okay, babe, all right, good deal, get yay, Kay, we all need some good news. Uh, but she she was sitting. She said, "Well, which one do I do?" So I put both of them on her again. I said, "We're going to double fist it," and I said to Mama, I said, "I want you to sit." And this is what my sister told her a couple months ago. She said, "You sit there and you suck on that thing until I tell you to stop." So the other day, I went there, hooked her up. My sister was sick and she was sitting in the living room, but she was in her recliner. And I hooked Mama up and I said, "Okay, I want you to sit here and suck on that." I said, "I'm going to act like LaDonna." That's my sister. I said, "You sit there and you suck on that until I tell you you can stop." And she just looked up at me and she said, "What?" And I said, "I'm going to act like your other daughter and tell you, you sit there and suck on that thing until I tell you to stop." And me and my sister Diane was laughing our ass off. And Mama looked at me and I said, "Do I need to call her?" She shook her head no. Well, I had made chicken noodle soup because my niece and her husband and their grandbaby had gotten sick also with like the crud. So I made a big pot of chicken noodle soup. Well, they just live right down the road. And I told my sister, I said, "I'll be right back. I'm gonna run Kim and them some chicken noodle soup." And so whatever I got, and I went right there and right back. I just put it on the porch. When I got back, I went in there. I said, "Are you still sucking on that thing?" And she said, "Hell, I don't." She said, she says, "Hell, I don't know what I'm doing." And she had her oxygen. She still had her oxygen on, and she was holding the nebulizer, and it was almost empty. So anyway, she said, "I'm tired of sucking on this thing." It was just funny. So, but I give her hell. I give her hell. Got to keep her on on her feet. We've been listening to a lot of Alan Jackson's and the Judds. We've been listening to a lot of gospel Christian music whenever I've been up there. She really enjoys listening to that. She probably doesn't enjoy me singing along with it, but I do. But yeah, you guys, I was just like, I was so saddened whenever I had to catch the replay. Hey, Miss Carol, I was so saddened when I heard Randy's live earlier because I did not know. I did not know. As you all probably know, I haven't been around a whole lot, but I didn't know, and it was so sad. And you know, I've I heard a little bit of Tracy's where she was like saying, shame on. Oh, it's really wrong. Oh, she melts mine too. I'm gonna whenever I go. Mark gets off 2 weeks for Christmas at the end of the year for Christmas. So I'm gonna go up on not this week, but next Monday, and I'm gonna be there, and we're gonna start making Christmas candy. And so I'm gonna get her dressed and get her hair done and make her feel look like somebody, and I'm gonna go live. She asked me if I still did that. She said, "Do you still talk to those people?" And I said, "What people, Mama?" And she said, "I don't know, on your phone." And I said, "Oh yeah, yeah, Mama, I still talk to them." And hey, Freeside, how are you, love? But all I can do is just love her while I've got her. And, sadly, this is more than likely going to be our last thanks. I hope not, but more than likely it's going to be the last Christmas we have with her. If it goes her way, she's ready. She says, "Mama Bear, 2222. Hello, babe." She says, I don't know why he's keeping me around. I'm not good for nothing. I can't see. And I said, "You can't hardly hear, can you?" And now, but it's funny. She can hear whenever she wants to. It seems like it has been a minute for seeing everybody. But and before I forget, hey Pugs, yes, you did. I made today. I made soda cracker, soda cracker candy. I think is what, or cookies. I don't know if they were called. Yeah, it was candy. Now they look like pralines, but instead of pecans, it had saltine crackers in it. It was really good. I have to say they were really good. If you like peanut butter fudge, is what it kind of tastes like to me. But I've got a new recipe. Now, when we go to my mom's, we always do Martha Washington balls. Y'all didn't know she had balls, huh? Yeah, she did. She had some balls too, baby. But we always make Martha Washington balls, and Mom used to make chocolate covered cherries, but just a few people like those. So she's 89, a real angel girl, 89, and so we're gonna do. I know for sure Martha Washington balls, and we'll do some pralines, whatever you call it, and we'll do some fudge. And I've got in the oven right now. Uh, what do you call that? The Chex Mix that you put the Worcestershire and all that stuff on it. My husband requested that, But there's a couple of new recipes I saw that I'm gonna try to make when we get up there. Now, and my mother-in-law, she makes, oh my gosh, it's, I don't know what you call it, but she gets that white bark and she melts it down, and she puts pretzels, mixed nuts, and covers that and makes like little piles, little haystacks. And then she gets Ritz crackers with the peanut butter in them inside the middle, and she dips those in the white chocolate. My mom, we always get, well, we usually use like, I'm just telling you, we do it on a double boiler, and we use a can that had evaporated milk in it and paraffin wax, and we add chocolate chips to the paraffin wax and melt it, and then we dip like our Martha Washington balls and stuff. That's how we do our chocolate. I've never used the bark. Apparently, you don't have to add the wax or anything like that. Apparently, you can just, I don't know. I've never used the bark, so I don't know if you have to add wax to that. I don't know. I've never used it, so this is going to be a new. Do you guys know if you have to add that white? There's almond bark and then the chocolate bark. I don't know. So I guess it'll be a learning experience. We'll figure it out. But I'm recruiting my nieces because um I told them, we got to keep it going, and I sure as heck can't do it by myself. Oh yeah, Buckeyes, I love that, and haystacks too. I got a haystack recipe, Christy. I've never made them, but I'm gonna try them. That this recipe calls for butterscotch chips. Is that what they were normally made out of? Is butter haystacks with butterscotch? Christmas crack is what? Oh, it may be, Christy. It may be. The Martha Washington balls is like a white nougat. It's like with really, really fine. I mean, like the pecans are chopped really, really fine. My mom has this little thing she uses. There's no really no size to the pecans. They're really chopped very fine, and it's like powdered. I don't know what all it makes. I can't remember, but you roll them in balls and then chill them, and then you get your chocolate and your paraffin wax ready and you dip it in there. So and then the chocolate covered cherries, I know you do the cherries and you wrap that nougat stuff around it and dip it. So butterscotch. Oh yeah, the Chinese chow. That's the recipe I've got, Christy. Is the Chinese chow mein noodles. That's the one I'm going to try. So today was the first time I ever tried this soda cracker candy, and it was really good. I'm going to tell you, I never go by a recipe. I mean, I'll go by one, but I always deviate or add to it, and I never measure. I very seldom measure anything. I'm awful about that, but I feel like I measure with my heart, I guess. But I didn't measure the. So the original Chex Mix stuff I was going to make was a recipe that Randy put on her community post, which I had seen before, where this lady, hey Beth, this lady has a tote, like a clear big tote, and she puts boxes of all the stuff in this big tote, and she uses 12 sticks of butter. I've never made it like that. I've always done just like 3 cups of this, 3 cups of that, and like a stick and a half of butter. So that's what I did. I did it like that, but I didn't do it the tote because first of all, I don't need to make that much right now. But anyway, I didn't measure the like, okay, so I didn't go by the recipe about 3 cups of this, 3 cups of that. I did that, and then I added different stuff that wasn't even in the recipe in there. So I was like, okay, so I probably need to put more butter than what the recipe calls for. So I put extra stick, and then, I just added to it. I just added to it. My family thinks I'm crazy, but it's always good that I never like I don't measure very much. My sister says, "How much do you put in?" I said, "I don't know. I don't measure. I just like do it until it looks good." But yeah, it called for Christy 12 sticks. So this lady puts this Crispex, the wheat checks, rice checks, corn checks, Cheez Its, pretzels, and nuts, and 12 cups. I mean, 12 sticks of butter. And I'm not talking margarine. I'm not the butter. And a cup. No, what was it? A cup? I think it's a half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Hey, Kimberly, 71. How are you, sugar? And I think I saw somebody. Let's see. Gmo AF. Hello, baby. But yeah, a lot of damn butter. And I'm gonna tell you, I used 2 sticks on the stuff that I did tonight, and I think that's like borderline too much if you ask me. My husband and I fought the sea battle for 3.5 years and lost. He's gone. Oh, back and forth. Yes, it is, Miss Carol. If you've watched my earlier live, you know how I feel about it, and so does Alicia. I've talked to her. I just, the way, and kind of learned this when I was going through this stuff with Sloppy Molly. People are going to believe what they want to believe. They either believe you or they don't. And that's just the way it is. And it is what it is. I didn't feel like I needed to go in here and like defend myself as much as I probably should have. And if you ask some people, they'll think that I freaking talked about it too much. But, you know, I just think that this has been like a pissing match that didn't need to happen because, like I said, I think both of them, have it, and I am supporting them both. And absolutely, Alicia, I hear you, babe. Move forward. Don't look back. Just move forward. We've had some stuff going on in my family, and it's just with young kids and stuff like that. Learning and going through life, and you guys, we were talking, man. It's such a man, I told my brother, I said, I would so like much rather be raised in the world that we were raised in instead of what they're being raised in. The social media aspect, we didn't have that. I mean, hell, the worst you could do when we were growing up was get caught smoking a joint or drinking a beer. You know what I mean? Uh, and we spent all of our time outside. We were either fishing or playing softball or hang. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just so different. Kids are influenced so differently than what we were. And I'm not meaning to be ugly, but I'm just going to say it. The parents are not parenting. I'm sorry. They are not parenting. They're not involved in their children's lives like they should. And they give their kids way too much privileges way too soon. Fairy Meadows, hello. uh Before they're I feel like before they're old enough to be responsible enough to have the things, cell phones. Bullshit, they don't need them as early as they're getting them. 8, 9, I mean, that's bull crap. Hey, spark plug Jackie. And so, you just have to. And then whenever they get in trouble with their devices, the parents want to freaking, what the hell happened. Well, you know just because you do phone checks every now and again doesn't mean that there's not ways to get around it, because we found ways to get around the things that we wanted to do when we were younger. So I don't know. It's just sad. I watched this show, and I was going to go live about it the other night, this video, because I want to see if we can help this lady. But you guys, I got so emotional. It was a very, very emotional story. And I got so emotional I couldn't even go live about it, you guys. Couldn't even finish watching it. I got through most of it. I'm gonna try to do that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. It's creators and the news media is trying to get into this lady's very, very tragic family personal thing that happened. And so she takes the stage with one of her good friends and tells her story before other people have the right to, or before the other people do. And she's got, she says that things that we can step up as, and try to help keep it from happening, because you guys, whenever y'all hear this story, it is freaking heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Hey, Miss Lee, how are you, sugar? But yeah, there's so much meanness and just crap in this world. I wanted to just like grab my niece, and you know, I even like whenever I heard, well, I didn't really hear what had happened. I just heard, too much to type. I got a card. I was doing Christmas cards for my mom, and I got a card, and I wrote her a little card, and I said, I'm coming up there, and I don't know what I'm going to be told, but I just want you to know that I don't care what I'm told. Nothing is ever going to make me not love you and not care about you, and you matter, and I'm always here for you if you ever need to talk. And I had no idea what, if it was about the phone or what. I didn't know what it was about, but I just kind of, you know, read in between the lines, I guess. And, you know, I just, I don't know. It's just sad, sad. I'm so sad at what this, the way the world is and the way our youngsters are growing up. And it's very, really, really sad to think about them, you know, being the leaders at one day. I'm just saying, they people don't teach their children to clean. They don't teach them to pick up, to be responsible. It's like every day's Christmas. I mean, it's sad. It's really sad. They don't know what a good ass whooping is like. They either beat the hell out of them. It's like there's no medium, no equal medium, or they threaten them, I'm gonna tell your dad if I tell you one more time, that bull crap. But well, Miss Carol, I know it was a fight, and he was I'm sure a warrior all the way to the end. We lost my dad to the big C word also, and he put a fight up for a year and a half. It was a rough struggle, I can tell you that much. um, it was a rough struggle. Hey, Peas, if I don't know if I said hey to you, I think maybe I did, but anyway, yeah, empty threats, absolutely empty threats. And then when they do, it's the same thing about the generation. Oh, really? Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna tell you, there's most definitely some good ones out there, and I wish that they could spread their kindness to the younger ones that are little hanyaks, or just like whenever you see them doing wrong, well, just first of all, don't give them the damn devices. They don't need cell phones when they're that young. And these games and stuff, everything should be in moderation, man. Just letting them, that's what's raised them is these damn Xbox and Nintendo games has raised a lot of the kids that I see growing up. They've been raised by their video games and their devices, and their parents do it to like get them out of their hair, and then when shit hits the fan, they don't know what happened. Yeah, spare the rod and spoil the child. Thank you, Smiles. Thank you so much. Yeah, my mom and daddy most definitely uh, believed in that saying, spare the rod and spoil the child. You know what I mean? I got my butt tore up and I deserved everyone I got. And quite frankly, probably didn't get a few that I should have gotten. But, you know, I have great respect for my mom and dad, She always says she can imagine someone in her generation is going to be president one day. She kills me. That's so funny, Christy. I tell you, that's so funny. And I mean, they do say some funny things. I'm gonna tell you some of the stuff that comes out of their mouth. Just like, where in the world did you hear that from? I've got to tell you guys, I had my mother-in-law, her church has once a year or twice a year they have the like a garage sale. They sell stuff that they people donate, and then they sell it and they give it to a charity or whatever. Well, I went up there to help my mother-in-law put some stuff out, and there was some bags, like purses and bags and stuff. Well, there was a brand new purse, and it was weird. I'd never seen it, and it was like 50 cents. So uh, I got it, but it was like it has a chain and a big wide gold bracelet on the chain that attaches to the purse. So it's like a clutch. And I thought that was funny. So I bought it for 50 cents so the little girls could play, play with it. So I take it up there, and so my little niece Emma that's always with me, she's 10, and her sister I think is about a year and a half older than her. And which blows my mind that she has already started her period, which is like so young. But anyway, uh Emma, and she started like 6 months ago, and so Emma, the little 10-year-old, she said, she says, I told her, I said, she come up to the cabin, she saw it, she said, oh, I like that. And I said, so I said, look, it's the bracelet. I showed her how to do it, so she put it on. She said, oh, I said, you can have it if you want to. And she said, she says, okay, I'm gonna make it my pad purse. And I said, your pad purse? She said, yeah. I said, did you start? She said, no, ma'am, but I feel like I'm going to. My stomach hurt all week, and I died out laughing. So I said, okay, girl, well, you keep that for your pads, okay? And so she was with me. So later on, the next day, we were all sitting there, and I said, I have got to tell you what Emma told me yesterday. And Emma said, what did I tell you? And I said, about your pad. She said, please don't tell her. Please don't tell her. She was so embarrassed. She said, don't tell my mom what I said. But I thought that was so dang funny. She wants to start so bad. I said, girl, you got plenty of time, honey. So I told them the story about when I was younger, my cousin and I, she's 11 days older than I am, and we were like joined at the hips. On She went to a different school than I went to and lived in a different town, but it was an adjoining town, and it was like 18 miles, but my dad, that was a lot. And if there wasn't a reason for us to go that way, we just didn't run. But anyway, during like summer breaks, we spent the time with each other and on long weekends and stuff. So she was at my house, and now mind you, at the time, none of us, the younger, and I still can't swim, but my mom's kids, none of us could swim when the ones that know how to swim now, they learned after they got older, but uh, at the time we couldn't swim. I didn't know how, but we like to go wade in the water. You know what I mean? So we were gonna go. That was the plans that weekend. My mom and dad were gonna take us to this little lake up there, and so the day we were getting ready to go, she woke up and she had started and she wanted to go home. And I said, no, I said, please just wait. I said, no, just wait and wait till after we go swimming. And then we can tell them that you started. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about her. I was thinking of making it all about me. And she's like, no, my stomach hurts. I really want to go home. So I said, well, our grandmother believed that if you got in water, you would go blind if you were menstruating. So I said, nobody has to know. Anyway, she ended up going home. Well, you guys, this is no lie. I don't remember how old we were at the time, but considering she was 11 days older than I was, in the same year and everything, I just assumed that, I should be starting pretty soon. So it was a good 2.5 years later before. But anyway, every time I would see her, she would be like, "Have you started yet? Have you started?" And I was so like sick of hearing that shit, and I was like, "No," but I could tell like Emma, I can tell I'm fixing to. Well, my grandparents' house burned down, and there was somebody had loaned them a travel trailer and they had it in the yard, so the workers and stuff, the community kind of came together and built them a smaller home back. And so there was a travel trailer up there. Well, I knew we were going to be going up there. My cousin was going to be there. She was going to be there. And so I thought, well, I'm going to fix this shit. I'm tired of hearing it. So I went and got one of my sister's panty liners and I put ketchup on it. And I put short. It was during the summer, so I had shorts on, and I put put it on. So when we got there, we went. Whenever I got there, she was already there, and we went in the camper. And I said, "Well, guess what?" I said, "I started." She said, "No, you didn't." I said, "Yes, I did." And so I pulled my shorts down just so she could see the ketchup. And so she's like, "Oh, well, it's about time." It was still about a year, I think, after that before I ever really started. But anyway, I told Emma and Katie that story, and that Katie just like she's like, "You did not." I said, "Yes, I did." I said, "I am not shitting my favorite turd." Yes, I most certainly did. And anyway, so I told him, I said, "It's natural to, I guess, to want to hurry and do those things, and but I promise you, once it starts, yeah, you got the rest of your life or until you go through menopause." Oh gosh. I didn't tell my cousin the truth until, gosh, we were married years and years later. And she laughed. She said, "I believe it. I believe it. That sounds like something you would do." But my mom wouldn't let us, like, I couldn't shave my legs until, I mean, hell, I was almost out of the house. Of course I got married when I was 16 because I knew so much about life. But yep, it is. Absolutely it is, Miss Carol. But anyway, it broke my heart when I heard what Randy said about what she had been through. It really broke my heart. And look, I'm gonna say how I took it. Okay, I didn't take it that she was blaming Sin or Diane for it, for her problem going through the issue that she went through. Hey, Nana, L. I didn't take it like that at all. The way I took it was she felt the need to explain it and to tell about it, and also they both knew what she'd been through. Okay, and this was the worst time because first of all, let's just be real. Sin didn't reveal anything um that was life shattering. You know what I mean? She really, it was a waste of time and it was a joke if you ask me. The whole live was a joke and she didn't reveal anything and she lied. I felt like she was lying. I'm sorry, I do. And that's just my opinion. But they kept saying that she's not watching live. She's not watching live. She didn't see comments. Well, there was a point in the live where, and the comments were hilarious, especially Yaba. Freaking, she was hilarious. The comments that she was writing, and I heard Sin laugh. Now there wasn't nothing being addressed to her. She just laughed, and when I looked at chat, I saw what I thought she probably laughed at, but yet she wasn't watching chat. Anyway, that's just one little thing that I caught. But and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But maybe somebody come in the room when she was there and she laughed about something else. But I don't think so. I think that I was probably spot on with my opinion. But um did you hear it, Christy? Did you go back and hear where she like it was a short little laugh, but and there was nothing being said to her. Diane was talking at the time, but yeah. So and look, I most certainly think that the troll accounts were her, and that she did go on and um, troll herself. I absolutely. Who else would do that? Nobody. Uh, so I most certainly think that she did it. And, like Diane said, what did it hurt? Well, okay, first of all, it makes me question her mental health herself to do that. And second of all, her credibility. That's what it affects whenever you go on and do something like that. Yeah, absolutely. Red Run Drink Media. I think she was as well. If you go on to troll yourself and say the crap that she said about herself, poor me, and Randy's dragging, all the shit that she said. Yeah, it makes me kind of look at you sideways. Sorry, it does. And you're not real. To me, she wasn't real healthy in her mind to be in that position to feel like she needed to do that. It's sad, but that was my opinion. I don't think that. And then they were saying that Randy talked about, and Wendy talked about her children, her kids. Okay, and I'm not making an excuse for what they did, but I feel like it was almost necessary for Randy and Wendy to, hey Carla Ray, to put, okay, the situations that they talked about was almost necessary for them to tell the story about sin, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying that it was okay. I'm not condoning that. I didn't ever hear Randy say their names. I think she referenced their kids, and so anyway, I'm not making an excuse, but the whole BAM thing they refused to address, and that was a big deal. Okay, so that's why I said chose my title, the behavior. BAM wasn't the only one that she's done like that. So, and I think that Randy probably, if the truth be known, Randy maybe was trying to pull away. I don't know, but I'm sure Randy had picked up on the inconsistencies in her stories uh, before, and I'm almost positive that she had. And the whole thing about when they would go on trips or whatever, and she couldn't mention stuff to her husband, to Sin's husband, told Randy that her and Jim not to mention anything that Sin had told her. You know what I mean? I mean that I believe that. I believe that she did that. I believe that she didn't want, you know, the truth to come out. I think she was like a cat covering her shit up the whole time, every day, all day. My opinion only. You don't have to agree with me, but because I've had several people in my life that were just like Sin, and if it walks like it talk like it is a dick. But I don't think. Oh yeah, Bam was mentioned several times. John Game and Granny, several times, and they chose to not address that. Just same with the pictures. I mean that's a big deal. And I've heard. I saw people put in chat that the pictures were real. Okay, there may be some pictures that are real, but there was also some pictures that were doctored as well. I don't care. There may be some real ones out there, but there was some doctored pictures as well because it was proven. So, you know, behavior, like I said, you don't have to speak that language. All you got to do is be able to watch how somebody acts. They're telling you who they are. I'm sure she was hurt. I mean, yeah, I mean, it was like it went way far with Bam. You know what I mean? It went way far. And the lies crossed out. And it wasn't just Bam, it was the lady's not here now, but she's I can't think of her name. She's a friend with Randy and all of them. Oh shoot. I can't think of her name right now, but she used to be a creator and she was on here, but she walked away. But she did her like that too, about a concert, going to a concert. She's an OG. I can't remember what her name is, but if there's any OGs in the house, I'm sure you guys will know who I'm talking about. But anyway, I didn't think that uh, Jiminy, Jiminy, oh Jiminy Cricket, Gemini Mama, hello sugar. But yeah, B, the Christy, that's right, B. But I don't think that. I think Randy felt like betrayed because they both knew what she has went through, and to pick this time to go live and do, even though they didn't really do anything, they left the underlying statement that they hope this is the last live that's done. You know what I mean? Basically, like, don't push it or I will, out everything. And I think what she wants to out is something that Randy addressed today. And I heard Tracy says, I've seen the receipts. And this really irks my butt because I'm going to tell you something. I do for a lot of people, and I've been done for in my life, but I don't ever do for others with a heart that I want to be thanked or patted on the back for it. I do it from my heart, and that's it. I do it and done with. I'm over. I don't need kudos for it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to throw it in your face. That's not who I am. And if you're going to, hey, Brantley, if you're going to do something for me and help me out, don't throw it up in my face. Because if you're going to later on, I don't need it. Save, what is it? Sav? Hello, sugar. Don't do it. So apparently, she and seeing last night said that she financially and emotionally walked away or whatever she said. So she put that out there that she cut the finances off to Randy. Okay. So she left a couple of little nuggets on the floor that she wanted people to pick up on, and a little underline, you know, didn't come right out and say what she was saying, but put it out there. Randy would have known what she was talking about, okay? And I just don't think it's nobody's business. If Sin helped Randy in any way with anything, it's not my business or nobody else's business. And shame on Sin for even bringing it to the forefront, because shame on you for doing it and then going to throw it in her damn face later on. That's not cool. That's not cool. You shouldn't do that. I don't ever want anybody. Okay, now that last name, Rico Pas, whatever the last name is. Hello, welcome to the chat. But I don't know. I can't stand that when people do that. Throw it up in your face. And a lot of people do it. They do it just so they can have something to hold over your damn head later on. And that's not cool. And so, I felt like it was a vile threat that, if I have to come forward, I'll come forward. Next time it's going to be worse. You know what I mean? Sin, you had your time and you pissed on it. Sorry. I don't, quite frankly, don't want to hear anything you've got to say, because I don't, first of all, I don't trust you, and I don't think that you can be honest. I'm sorry, I just don't, because you sure didn't own anything last night. You didn't own it. You didn't own one thing. You deflected and passed the blame. So you didn't own one. I would have had a lot more respect for you if you got up there and owned your shit. Owned hell, owned one thing. Hey, Shell, you didn't have to own everything or whatever, just but own up to, and the whole trolling. You can't remember if you had a troll account, girl. Listen, even on my Ambien days, I think I at night, Ambien nights, I would remember if I had a damn troll account, because it's a not real easy. You got to go through steps to have a troll account. You've got to create another email. You've got to create another account. That's not something that you just can't remember if you've done or not. And I do believe that look, they've got proof where she had troll accounts. So anyway, it's funny how people can listen to the same thing and walk away with completely different, hear something completely different. But this is what I heard. This is the way I took it. And, uh, I don't have anything to, against Sin. I just I don't believe, what, I don't believe what she said. And I don't think that she owned up to anything, and I think that it was, okay. So we all know how, if you've been around, that my relationship with Diane has been, not the best, considering all the things. But, we've, whenever all that crap happened with Molly, she had just come back and she was kind enough to, have me on panel, and we talked it out, and she was very, kind and, to me then. And because I had apologized for my part in the whole crap that was Sloppy Molly and St. Jude and all that. Uh, but, hold on a second. But anyway, we kind of, I apologized. She accepted it, and I appreciated that, for my part, and if I caused her any hurt or anything. And so when she come back again this last time, the other day, I went in live and I said hello. And, I've always, when there's something about Diane, when I hear her speak, and I know that she's lost her mother and that it really affected her, my heart goes out to her. And when I hear Diane speak, and especially since, um, she's lost her mother. It's like I don't know. I can hear I don't know, like loneliness, sadness in her voice, and I can't help it. My heart goes out to her. More than enough. I love you. Can I just tell you, you are the bomb.com, and thank you for what you did last night, because whenever you said what you did, that comment, and the way Diane reacted, said all I needed to hear, especially whenever I heard today what I heard, to know that they went live after knowing, and they knew what Randy had been through. It Oh gosh, it said all I needed to hear. Mystic, hello. Hello, doll. Thank you guys for coming in. Hey, Mal. But yeah, so I just thought it was, bull crap. First of all, to, look how long it took Diane whenever the whole St. Jude debacle was going on. Look how long it took her to own her part of the thing. And I mean, you know what I mean, guys? Because it took a while. We kept hearing she's going to come on and explain it, all that crap. It took a while, and she still really didn't stand in it and own it like she should. I mean, you know what I mean? But she did enough to where people were able to move on from it. But to me, her and Sin have the same personalities because Sin damn sure didn't own her shit. She didn't stand in it. And oh, thank you, Mystic. Thank you. No, she never owned it, moderator. You're right. So, hello, Nana. Uh, when more than enough said, Diane, why this week? Whenever you guys know what Randy's been going through, or something like that. And when she said that, and Diane read it, she's like, more than enough, like, or just pissed off that she actually. I can't believe you said, she couldn't believe that she challenged her with the damn truth. And I mean, how about saying, well, we feel like, yeah, it was a genuine question about time. Absolutely, Mario. It was a genuine question, and it really made a lot of sense to me today after I heard Randy's. And I don't think that Randy was laying at their feet. I don't think she was trying to lay her uh, problems at their feet one bit. I think she was feeling like her hands were tied, and maybe she felt like and it was a shitty move for them to go live knowing what she's been going through. You don't put pressure like that on someone that is already fragile. It's just like I've said before about when crazy ass Michelle, people were going for Michelle. Look, to me, she is a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't want that blood on my hands. If she was to do something to herself, everybody was going for, yeah, she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, man. That is obvious. Why push somebody like that? Just like walk away, man. There's no sense in adding to the shit, because yeah, some people you can't push like that or it's going to backfire. Yeah. And a Mystic, they have the nerve to want her to go up on panel, and yeah, absolutely. And whenever I watched Diane's live last week, uh, I I was really like, I'm gonna tell you, that's the first time I think I've ever heard Diane have emotion for Randy, even through all the bullshit. And Randy toted a lot of you know, the burden on her shoulders through the St. Jude thing, for defending, standing by Diane. Randy took a lot on her shoulders. Diane still didn't show her any grace or any compassion, in my opinion. I'm sorry, not considering as good of friends as they were. You know what I mean? Not for what I saw. She may have behind the scenes, but she damn sure didn't do it publicly. So whenever you're right, Ruby Red Dress, but whenever she got emotional the other night whenever Randy come into chat and she wanted her to come up. That was the most emotion I think I've ever heard Diane express toward Randy. And so I have to say, I was like, okay, okay, because I had not typed in chat. I've been listening, but I had not typed. And so I ended up putting in chat before she, it was good to see her. And, but then after knowing what I know last night, finding out I did last night, I just like, it was really, really sad. Just goes to show you that you need to watch somebody's behavior because they are, hey, twin thing, you make my heart sing. You just have to meet them where they're at, accept them for who they are, and know that when they've showed you time and time again who they are, that's who they are. And they're not going to change. The older we get, the more set in our ways we become. So if they're acting like that at the age that they're acting, chances are they're not going to change. Yeah, me too, Christy. I thought I kept waiting thinking that Randy was gonna go up, but hey Earth Sugar, hey honey, honey. Yeah, I did too. I kept thinking that she might go up, but I completely understand why she didn't. And I figured last night I was like thinking to myself, I bet Wendy is telling her, "Don't you go up there," you know what I mean? Because Wendy's got good. I think Wendy's solid with her advice, and I think Wendy is a true, genuine friend to Randy. And you know, she loves with her heart, and she don't want her friends, being in bad positions. I think that Wendy has, given Randy the best advice that she could give her and being there for her. Hey, Mercedes girl, how are you? And this is, guys, I know a lot of people probably don't agree with my opinion, and that's okay. You know, we all have our own opinions and the way we look. And I haven't, I've always liked Randy, always felt like if we live close, we would like be best friends. I just dig her, I get her. And then when that thing happened with Diane and I was friends with Sloppy Molly and I kind of, you know, joined in that a little bit, now I never went real life, but I was very verbal about uh things went sideways for Randy and Wendy and I, and they didn't like me, and but after it's all blown over, we all made our amends, and I really do enjoy both of them, and I think they're sincere and they're my kind of people. Uh, and honestly, every creator, if you're a creator, you've probably at one point or another talked about or drugged somebody that wasn't probably as stable as they should be. Maybe you didn't know it, or maybe you did and you didn't care. Regardless, none of our hands are clean. Everybody here, we're all hypocrites. We all have told stories. And I'm going to be honest with you. You get smart to tell stories on here. You don't want people to know. Look what happens when people find out your real name. Look what the damn links that these crazy ass people go to. So if you want to lie about your occupation and your name, I say more power to you. I get it. Why be real? Tell your real name on here. You're asking for trouble. So to me, you're smart if you tell stories. You know what I mean? Let's see. I just felt like Sin was just continuing to, you know, double down that she's innocent. And I heard Tracy talk about Randy kept saying that that Sin's not supposed to be on YouTube for a year. I think that is what Sin told her. I think Sin told her that maybe her therapist told her not to be on there for a year or whatever. I think that's what Randy was saying. I don't think that um yes, they are Earth. I don't think that Randy did anything today as far as like dragging her or putting any of her personal info out there. I don't. I don't think that she did. I think she was just putting her truth out there, speaking her truth. I mean, time will tell. I hope it doesn't go back and forth. I hope it's over. I hope for all involved that it doesn't go back and forth. But I absolutely believe that it was a shitty thing to do and a low blow to do it. I wouldn't do it to somebody that I don't like, much less to somebody that I used to call friend. I would not do that. I would not do it. I mean, they don't know Randy's mental state right now. That could have been something that pushed her over the edge again. You know what I mean? Why take a chance like that? And who the hell would want to have that on their hands? Not I, not I. I can tell you that. Silence is golden. I just feel like they were very, very shady in the house for doing that shit. And it was done with intention. Sorry, it's just the way I feel, you know, because it was for sure not. And the fact that they weren't answering questions. You know what I mean? I think it was very convenient that Sin said that she wasn't watching chat, which was bullshit. Bullshit. She was watching, and Diane conveniently didn't see the questions that people really wanted answered. I saw at one point that Caslin had dropped the link that the truth has got questions. I was hoping that that would happen, but Diane didn't drop the link. They, it was like I'll answer questions, but you know, Mercedes girl, I agree. After finding out, they both knew what had gone wrong. Yeah, absolutely. You just don't. I don't know. That wasn't cool. Wasn't cool at all to do that last night of all times to do it. You know what I mean? So I mean, Sin's had 6 months or 3 months. How long's it been? Did she say it's been 3 or 6 months? 3 months. She's had 3 months to do what she did last night. Hell, she could have wrote a community post and did what she did last night. Sorry, but she could have. And I'm glad that she didn't do any more than what she did last night, to be honest with you, because that would have been the last thing I would have wanted to see was to her to come on there. If what I've heard is the truth, about the receipts, that would have been a shitty thing to do, to throw that up in Randy's face about what she's done for her, helping her out in hard times, because that's not cool. If you're going to help somebody, then you help them for the right reasons and not with an ulterior motive to have damn ammunition to use against them later on. Not cool. And it's nobody's business. It's nobody's business. Not mine, not yours. Nobody. That was between Randy and Sin. And then, yeah, and it was like a little dig. If you don't talk about it, then I won't show the receipts. Basically, she didn't say that, but that's kind of like the underlying message. Oh, Laura, good Lord! I told Alicia, I said, and I don't mean to seem better than when I say this, but with Laura, I just, you know what I mean. I can't even like. I feel bad hammering on her because, honest to heavens, the stuff that when she opens her mouth, some of the stuff that comes out of her mouth, I just want to say, Laura, shut up, hush, quit, stop. I feel like with the whole, with that whole thing that people have their minds made up. And I've told Alicia a long time ago, she puts too much information. She tries to, and I get what she's doing. She knows that she's going to be challenged. She knows people's going to question her illness because this is YouTube. I understand her wanting to show proof. I do. I understand, but I wouldn't. I mean, because listen, if they don't believe you for you giving your word, then they're not your people anyway. Okay. And if you are lying about something, it's going to come out. It eventually come out. But if you're being honest, then let that speak for itself. You shouldn't have to get on here and show your medical records to prove that you really do have cancer or whatever the thing is. Hey, Mitten Mama, good to see you, babe. I hope you all were well from I saw where you had messaged me about the storms. Yeah, you guys, I'm gonna have to. My husband, okay, so my brother has a new shop, and we were actually grilling and cooking up at the shop when the storm happened, the tornado the other night, and I had ran back to the cabin to grab something, and I left my car running, and I went in, and I mean, it come with the snap of the fingers, it come down just like that. It started raining. I mean, the wind was blowing the rain sideways and hailing. It started hailing, and I had left my phone and everything in my car. So I ran and grabbed my husband's phone and I recorded. I think it's like 8 or 9 minutes, but it was. I'm gonna tell you, you know, I'm on the coast, the Gulf Coast. So, when the hurricanes and stuff come in, it's gotten hairy here several times since I've lived here. I've never been as scared here as I was the other night. My husband has built a awning on the outside of our little cabin. When you walk out, we have a covered, like we pull our side by side up under. We've got a swing under there, and you know, up there. So, but it's like got poles and all tied down and all that. But it was rocking, it was shaking, and it scared. I was scared. I told my husband, I said, "Oh my gosh, are we going to blow away?" But and it lasted. Usually, when a storm like that comes through, it doesn't last. It lasted for a good. I felt like we were in the middle of it because it lasted a lot longer than my brother. After it blew over, my brother said it's supposed to another one come through a couple hours later, but it was just a lot of rain and wind. But I saw where Tennessee and different places and where 6 people lost their lives. We lost electricity for 3 or 4 hours, but you know, thank goodness nobody was hurt. And I saw a thing today where this little boy. It was a fundraiser they were doing. This family of two. They had a little girl and a little boy, and the little boy he didn't get out. So and they haven't found him, I don't think. But also there is yeah, I feel like I'm uh, I don't know, Laura making a community post about who actually outed Alicia's diagnosis, and that it was diamond cutter or barnyard or whatever. So you can go over to her damn community post and read my comments if you want to. I at first I didn't have time. I was up at my mom's and a lot of stuff going on, and I addressed it with that mentality. But after I got home and I saw the shit was still going on, I went in there and I actually put down how it happened. And I thought, I cannot believe I'm having to say this. But anyway, ridiculous because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I never said anything about Alicia having it until she had told me that it was okay to talk about. I would never have done it. And so I'm fixing to say this without saying a name, but a very good friend of mine has been put on hospice, and they probably 6 months to live, maybe. And I spoke with her today, and she's a former creator on here. And I didn't. She had already taken her medicine, and so I didn't ask her because I could tell she was getting drowsy. So the next time I talk to her, I'm going to ask her if I can reveal her name, and so I can ask for prayer. But if you will, just anonymously lift up this person for prayers and for a peaceful homecoming. Um, it sucks. It sucks. It's so hard trying to find the words whenever you talk to somebody that, you know, it just sucks. So I'm gonna see if I can find that real quick. Let me look, see if I can find that story I was telling you guys about that I watched the other night. Um, so bear with me. Hold on just a second. Okay, just a second. If I can find it, I'm going to play a few minutes of it. Um, no, because or maybe I saved it. Let me look and see if I saved it real quick. Um, okay, I'm looking. Darn it. Let me see. Oh, I'm gonna type in chat this one story I watched. It's called Finding Banny, and I think it's a couple years old. Let me find. I just saw it. It's a story where these people adopted. Yeah, Finding Banny. It was a year ago. I watched it, and it's a year old. You guys, if y'all are ever looking for something to watch, this story was so uh so touching and so sad about what happens in third world countries. And hey, Pepper, how are you? Oh, she want mine? Okay, all right. I didn't know. Yeah, it's a Marshall White Sharky. Uh, so I just like if you would lift her and her family up in prayers. She's a sweet lady and she's been very good to me. And oh, I just love her. But yeah, so Finding Bandy is the one that it's so crazy about what happened to that child. And I think he was adopted, and I don't remember from where. It's a third world country, and they basically had to give him back. And it's just so the brother went and to find him, and it was just something else. But the story I was talking about a while ago that I had started uh, watching was about this lady. You guys, it's the worst thing that you could possibly think would happen. Um, they had a lot of children, and I'll try to find it. They had a lot of children. I can't remember how many. but like 7 or 8, a lot of children. But, her one of her older children started having, thank you, real angel girl, started having some, behavioral and mental problems, and he ends up and he had, told his mom and them that he is, like, has visions of wanting to kill people, and he ends up killing 2 of his siblings. And this is like, you guys, when you watch this mother tell the story, and then, she said when it happened, even the local news and, they didn't even run with, out of respect for what they were going through. Because I mean, it's awful whenever you hear her tell the story. And so now there's a creator, I don't know who, and a news somebody in the news that is wanting to do the story. And she doesn't, I mean, she pleading with people to help her. And um I was so emotional, like, I couldn't think about anything. Hey, rapper, I couldn't think about anything else after I watched that. I mean, for 2 days, it consumed my thoughts, and just, like, was so I cried and cried. My husband said, "Why do you watch stuff like that?" And I said, "I don't know, but I do." But, I mean, it just, like, it was so I'm gonna find it, and I'm gonna, go live, and we'll watch it together, because it was something. It just, gosh, something that you don't ever, I mean, I don't even know how the lady even has any. Have you what, Christy, do you remember the name of it? Uh, or what I watched, the one that I watched was one of her best friends that was from, they're now in Oklahoma, I think the family is, but I can't remember what state, but they live in different states, but they used to live in the same state, and then they moved away, and she went on her best friend's channel and told the story. And that's what was watching, and it was just, okay, good, thank you. Uh, broke my heart, and I didn't make it to the end because I said, "Gosh, I gotta go live. I gotta, like," she said, she said something about, "I hope that you will help me at the end. I'm gonna tell some things that you can do to help me." And when I got to that point, and when she was explaining it, I was like, "Oh my God, I've just got to stop. I got to go live and, like, get my peeps to, like, let's watch it together and try to help this lady, because it's just awful." And she didn't know, come to find out, she didn't know that her son, and he had, like, been taken out of the home when he was a teenager, still in school. He had been removed from the home and put in another home that to help him, because they didn't, the facilities and stuff like that didn't know what to do to help him. You know what I mean? And he didn't fit the narrative of a normal, I guess, or a sociopath that would, he didn't kill animals. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that. So they didn't know how to diagnose him. They didn't know. So, but he was he admitted later on to his mother that he still had those thoughts and stuff, but he just quit telling her, because when he would tell her, he would get put into a facility or something. So he just quit telling her. So he was well past 18. I think it was 18 or 19 whenever this, and had moved back in, and they had rules, and it was just, in their home. But she says she found out after the awful murders, that she found out that at night, when he was young, when he was talking to her and telling her that he keeps having these thoughts and these, and was very depressed and withdrawn, that she found out later on that he was watching Saw and, like, horror movies on his, I don't know, iPhone, I what do you call those gaming machines? Xbox. I don't know, I don't game, but those apparently you can watch movies and stuff. And she didn't know, and she says, and I'm not saying that people that like horror films do this stuff, but in the state that of the mind that he was in, that was the last thing. Okay, I'll look and see if I can. That was that was his name. That was the last thing that he, you know what I mean, that he needed to be watching. And but it was almost like he craved it. You know what I mean? Like he had it in his mind. So it was, A Garden of Grief. Okay, I'm gonna try to um, pull it up over here. Hold, bear with me. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's not the one. Let's see. Nicholas. His name Nicholas. KD. Wow. Okay, let's see. Okay, Garden of Grief page. Okay, let me go there because I can't. How old is that story, Christy? I didn't look at the date whenever I started watching it. I just assumed that it was, a lot of times I do that and I'm like, holy moly, and I look at it, it's like 2 or 3 years old. Um, but just something that you don't ever want to, nobody ever have to live through and go through. That was just awful. Okay, videos. So I can't see chat right now, guys. Oh shit. I wasn't even on YouTube. I'm crazy over here. Freaking duh. Okay. Garden of Grief. Boy, she's got some dark. This might not be the right Garden of Grief. Oh, that's not the right one. I don't think. Let's see. You find her channel. Okay, the grief channel, maybe? Oh, my Garden of Grief. Okay. Okay, you block whoever you've got to. If I trust you guys. They're coming in here being crazy. We ain't got enough craziness in this world. Who knows? Might be sin with another. I don't know. Okay, here it is. Well, I don't know if that's it. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Let's see if I can remember to oh wow, I did not know that there was this many videos. She really talks about a letter to her son. Wow, I didn't know that this was wow. I'm trying to find the one where she tells the story to her friend. Let's see. Oh, she's got so oh, this is her channel. Okay. I guess this is the mother's channel, huh? Yeah, if you guys should like, most definitely, which especially if you've ever had anything like this in your personal life, looks like she's like walking you through. Um, and what a strong lady she is. Let me just tell you, what a strong lady. I don't see where she popular, where she her friend video I watched. I don't see. Let's see. Murdered by her. Okay, let's see what this is. Hold on, guys. I'll share my. See if I can remember how to do this.
No, they were brutally
Guys,
murdered. I
is my
think
screen, did I
no
share it right? I don't know. I hadn't been
Alexander and
on
Sophia
this in a
H.
long time. Can
were
y'all see it?
shot by their
Or
older
is it,
brother
let's see.
while they were sleeping. And I've been wanting to, been feeling
She
very
went off on
compelled
them.
to
I don't
share
know what I
our
was
story, share my grief for the last 4 years,
looking at, but
and onward bound,
can
especially
y'all
during
see?
this pandemic. There's so much loss, so much grief
Oh, wait a
going
minute.
on, love, loss, grief, and sorrow.
Can y'all
And
hear
so
it?
I wanted to, thought it was only fitting that I would come today to the cemetery to where we have buried Noah and Sophia and start this video
Okay, let me
with
turn it up
the
some.
journey and come with us, come along with me, you know, and maybe my dark walk can help encourage somebody else's dark walk because we all have a story of loss. We go to work, but I'm not there.
Or
I'm
tribe of many.
tired.
Okay, all right. Hold on, guys. I
My
want to go
brain
there.
is extremely
Sorry,
foggy.
I stop this.
I'm on
Our tribe of
most
many.
of the
Okay.
time.
Christy, you and I sound like we watch a lot of the same shows. Okay, here we go. Hmm, okay, let's see. I'm on the right channel. I'm just trying to find the right video. I like this lady too. That our tribe of many. I really liked. They're good Christian people, and I haven't. I want to catch up on her stories too. So let's see. Was it about a year ago, Christy? Do you remember? Uh, Mom. Okay. Oh, they did an interview. Okay, just did an interview. Okay, let's see. But so I think he got, if I'm not mistaken, the son. And I can't wait to go back and watch and see how many, like how the the courts and all that stuff uh, went. But I think he got like 90 something years. It seems like the son, and I don't know. I didn't get past the point to see if they have stayed in. I'm sure she's still supporting him or whatever. But she said that they really just didn't know how to like treat him, how to you know treat the situation. Okay, I bet that's not it. I mean, that's the channel, but I gotta find the video. Yeah, it was so like, could you imagine? Could you imagine your oh, and then oh my gosh, you know what? The part that got me was whenever she told about the night that it happened. How she awoken to, and when she went in the garage and found her husband beating the hell out of her son, and he had stabbed his dad, and what he was doing was like keeping him from killing everybody in the house. But it, the like it resonated with me so much of her when she told it. Like you could just feel like she went back there. You know what I mean? She went back there um to that night, and it was just woo, it was more than I could handle. But anyway, I'm gonna Christy's put it in chat, you guys. I can't find it right now, but I've got so much crap opened up. But yeah, you got it's worth watching. Um oh, she may have taken it down because okay. And Christy, wasn't it kind of like a current thing? Like they were wanting, maybe they stopped explanation of taking down my video and where we are in the process. Okay, of sensationalized story of the children's death. Okay, okay, so they took it down. Well, no wonder I couldn't find it, but uh, maybe she talks about it on her channel, which was the first one, that the Garden of Grief. Uh, that was just wow. It was something to see. I'm gonna tell you. But you guys, I guess I will get off of here, and I gotta go clean the kitchen up. I cooked dinner at 8, and then I told my husband, I said, I'll clean the kitchen up whenever I get through going live. And I gotta box up his Chex Mix, but I might go live and when I do some candy tomorrow, go live and we'll make some candy together. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. Thank you so much for all that come in. And like I said, opinions are like buttholes. We all have one, unless you have a colostomy bag, right? And that's just how I feel about the situation. And I just don't think that that was right what they did to Randy. So diamond cutter out. You guys remember, smile. I dare you.